in the music scene, there was a lot of alcohol, and it was normal to drink constantly, like 11 a.m.,
Right.
just normal. And that just really didn't work out for me, because I have kind of I have trouble saying no to things that feel good.
So this is a fairly personal question, but what is your relationship with sobriety, and was there a specific thing that was the cause of that journey to you?
Yeah, I for a long time I never talked about sobriety and my relationship with drugs and alcohol over the years. And I made a conscious decision to talk about it a little bit. I'm a pretty private person. I kind of separate my public life from my private life. But, I realized it could help someone to hear about it from someone who's had some experience. So my relationship with sobriety is basically I have to stay sober or I'm fucked. It's just as simple as that. So, and I have, over the years, I've come to, I've had my ups and downs with it, but I've come to a pretty good place where I have a stable support group. And I never claim membership to any particular organization at the public level, but I have taken advantage of some of the organizations so that I could get peer support and other forms of support. So, I don't have any opinion on what anybody else does, but I can just share my own experience. In the music scene, there was a lot of alcohol, and it was normal to drink constantly, like 11 a.m.,
Right.
just normal. And that just really didn't work out for me, because I have kind of I have trouble saying no to things that feel good. Whether or not they're good for me. So, and like I said, I've had different experiences with that, but they all kind of resolved into the same outcome, which is that drugs and alcohol really don't work for me, and but they are very tempting, and I need support to maintain a good lifestyle, and I also need to support others. That's a huge part of it. Whatever recovery modality one does, and whatever the addiction is, whether it's alcohol and drugs, or some people have what are called process addictions, pornography, even things like extreme sports, can really get so addictive that it, I'm just sort of pulling something out of the air. But any process or substance or relationship that feels good but is not ultimately good to do in extremes can really affect people's lives. And one of the things that almost always people find helpful is, first of all, getting it together, kind of getting their own recovery, and then helping to pass it along. So I try to do that, in my own life, and that combination of things. Also, I have a spiritual life, has led me to be in a pretty good place with all that stuff.
That's amazing. I mean, support is key. Support is very important in that world, in that life.
Yeah, and a lot of you were talking about punk earlier. A lot of kind of punks, or even artists or musicians in general, have this kind of me against the world mentality. Right. Maybe not intentionally, but it's just sort of in their psyche. It can be isolative to be creative, and so these altered states that come from drugs and alcohol and other things can be very appealing to someone who's sort of living, they're in their cave, either literally avoiding other people, or even just sort of mentally individualist to a fault. And getting high in whatever form can be very attractive, and it can become very destructive. So one of the big antidotes, and it's a cliche in recovery, they say the opposite of recovery is connection. Rather than sobriety, it's really connecting. So, that's something I've learned to do, and it's still a practice.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of an introvert, but that's one thing that has been very healing for me in that area.
That's amazing. I'm glad you're doing well with it. It's a tough journey.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm terrified of getting surgeries because I don't want to have, opiates in my vicinity. I don't do well with that stuff. So,
I hear that.
yeah. Hey, what's up? I just wanted to say thank you for watching my video. I appreciate everyone coming and hanging out. If you'd like to support what I'm doing a little further, I have a record label with a lot of big things happening. There's a link to my Bandcamp in the description. I own a small record store. There's a link to my Discogs in the description as well. And finally, there is a Patreon link in the description. None of these are mandatory, of course. I just wanted to let you know they exist. And, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll answer them as fast as I can.